All right, it's Thursday, so on Thursdays, of course, we take a look at a kid's book as the afternoon kind of bonus vlog, kind of a call it a self-care item. Make sure that you guys are feeling some kind of connection to something that is not just your schoolwork. So we, of course, I think a lot of us are having some struggles with Who Moved My Cheese? This is a book that came out probably about 20 years ago now. I first learned about it in a leadership conference when I was in the Boy Scouts when I was a kid, and it was a novella kind of setup, a graphic novel, I suppose. It had pictures in it. And then the author realized that it would be helpful for kids to get this message before they were adults or young adults. And so they rewrote it as a kid's book. And so we're going to take a look at that today by Spencer Johnson, MD, and Christian Johnson. Once upon a time, there lived 4 little friends named Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw. Every morning, they put on their running shoes and got ready to look for what made them happy. Magical cheese. Magical cheese was special because when you found it, it made you feel good about yourself. It was hidden somewhere in a big maze, where there were many different places to go. Sniff and Scurry were very smart and always remembered where they had been before, so they kept exploring in new places where the cheese might be. Sniff had a great nose. He could sniff the air and smell where cheese was. Scurry had fast feet. He could scurry ahead to get to the cheese quickly. Hem and Haw were also smart. They read books and studied maps to find the magical cheese. Let's try going this way, Haw would say. I'm not so sure, Hem would answer. Hem and Haw did not want to get lost in any dark corners, so they went through the maze slowly, one step at a time. Day after day, the 4 friends searched through the large maze to find the cheese. They went into dark areas, they ran into dead ends, and then they would just turn around and head off in a new direction. Then all of a sudden, one lucky day, it happened. All 4 friends found something wonderful. What do you think it was? They found magical cheese. It was inside one of the large rooms called Cheese Station C. It had been there all the time, just waiting for someone to find it. Whoopee! Cried Haw. Hooray! Yelled Sniff and Scurry. Hem shouted, There's enough here to last us all forever. Sniff liked the orange slices that smelled nice. Scurry nibbled the hard yellow cubes. Hem liked the kind with holes in it, and Haw enjoyed the soft white cheese shaped like a wheel. Each began to imagine what the magical cheese could bring them. Sniff pictured himself playing with new friends at Blue Cheese Park. Scurry imagined himself scoring the winning goal in cheese soccer. Haw saw himself getting good grades at Bree Elementary School, and Hem dreamed he lived in a great home atop Swiss Cheese Hill. Later, as night fell, they all headed toward their little houses. The next morning, Sniff and Scurry woke up early, laced up their running shoes, and raced through the maze straight to Cheese Station C. When they got there, Sniff smelled the cheese to see if it was still fresh, and Scurry measured to see how much was left. When they were satisfied there was enough cheese for another day, they took off their running shoes and hung them around their necks so they could find them quickly if they needed them again. Then Sniff and Scurry settled in and began enjoying the magical cheese. Meanwhile, Hem and Haw slept later and later. We already know where the cheese is, Hem thought. I don't need to hurry, Haw yawned. It's comfortable here in my bed. I'll just sleep a little more. Hem and Haw finally arrived at Cheese Station C. They made themselves right at home. Hem built himself a cheese chair to relax in. Haw wrote on the wall, Having cheese makes you happy. Day after day, Sniff and Scurry got up early, scurried over to Cheese Station C, and measured the cheese to see what was happening. But Hem and Haw slept later and later every day. They did not pay much attention to the cheese. They just expected it to always be there. Can you see what's happening to the cheese? Then one morning, Sniff and Scurry arrived early at Cheese Station C to find that the cheese was gone. They were not completely surprised, since they'd noticed the supply of cheese had been getting smaller. They knew that they were going to have to go back into the maze and look for new cheese. I bet it will be just as good as the old cheese, said Scurry. Even better, said Sniff. He squealed. The new cheese will be even better. Much later, Hem and Haw arrived at empty cheese station C. They looked around. They could not believe their eyes. Hem yelled, "What? No cheese? No cheese? Who moved my cheese?" Hem got very angry. He thought the cheese would always be his, something he deserved to have, no matter what. He jumped up and down, shouting, "It's not fair!" Haw was just as disappointed as Hem, but he did not yell or stamp his feet. Haw stood perfectly still like a statue. He did not know what to do. He was shocked. Then Haw noticed something. "Hem," he said, "where are Sniff and Scurry?" Hem looked around. "I don't know," he said. "I bet they went back to the maze to find new cheese. Maybe we should too." "No," said Hem, "I don't want to. It's too confusing out there in the maze. Remember how hard it was to find this cheese? It's safer to just wait until they put the old cheese back here again." Haw listened to his friend, and he became afraid too. "You're right, Hem," Haw said. The next day, Hem and Haw went back to empty cheese station C. They were hoping the cheese would come back. Every day they waited and waited and waited, hoping for everything to be just like it was before. Meanwhile, Sniff and Scurry were sniffing and scurrying through the maze looking for new cheese. Some days they found little bits of magical cheese and stopped for a quick snack. They always left some behind for their friends Hem and Haw. Then they found a new area of the maze. It was called Cheese Station N. The cheese supply was 10 times bigger than back at Cheese Station C. But Hem and Haw were still waiting back at empty Cheese Station C. Finally, Haw looked at his friend and started laughing. "Ha ha! Look at us. We look funny. Things have changed, but we haven't changed." Hem was too mad to laugh. But when Haw laughed at himself, he felt better. Then Haw wrote on the wall, "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" Haw knew. "Let's go into the maze, Hem." But Hem said, "No, I don't want to." For a change, Haw did not listen to Hem. He said, "It's time to change and find new magical cheese." Haw shouted, "It's maze time!" and ran into the maze. At first, Haw was nervous because he did not know what was going to happen. But the more Haw thought about how much he would enjoy new magical cheese, the more confident he became. He felt free. He wondered, "Why do I feel so good?" He realized it was because he was not so afraid. He wrote on the wall, "When you stop being afraid, you feel good." Haw hoped that Hem might come along and read the handwriting on the wall. Haw even drew arrows to show which way he was going. Then he ran into the maze. And there, around a corner, he came upon Cheese Station E, and he found nothing. Cheese Station E was empty except for a few bits of cheese. "I bet there used to be more cheese here, but Sniff and Scurry probably ate it," Haw said. "If I had just changed faster, I would have shared it with them." He bent over and wrote on the wall of Cheese Station E, "The sooner you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese." As Haw went into the new areas of the maze, he found more and more bits of magical cheese. It did not taste anything like the old cheese he was used to. Haw was surprised. "It tastes better. I'll go back and tell Hem about this." So he went back through the maze all the way back to his friend in Cheese Station C. When Haw arrived, he found Hem lying on the floor. "Hem!" he cried. "Hem!" Hem said weakly, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you. It's lonely here. Did you find more cheese out there? The kind I like with the holes in it?" "Well, no," said Haw, "but I did find new bits of magical cheese. It's really good. You should try some." "Oh no," said Hem, "I don't think I would like it. I'll just wait until they put my old cheese back." "Hem, the old cheese is gone," said Haw. "It's time for us to find new cheese. I know it seems scary at first, but once you get going, it's fun." "No," said Hem stubbornly. So sadly, Haw waved goodbye and went back into the maze. Haw was sad because his friend would not change, but he was not going to stay in empty Cheese Station C feeling sorry for himself. He wanted to explore the maze, and he really believed he could find new cheese. Soon Haw raced along and exclaimed, "Aha! I feel good because I've changed. I'm doing something new. It's fun. I like the new me." Then Haw entered the darkest part of the maze. To help him find his way, Haw imagined his new magical cheese. He pictured himself finding and enjoying his new magical cheese. He felt better and better. Haw thought, "Seeing this picture is like having a dream, even while I'm wide awake. It seems so real." What do you think your new cheese could be? The more Haw imagined himself finding something better, the easier it was for him to find his way. He stopped and wrote on the wall, "Imagining your new cheese will help you find it." When Haw moved on, he found himself in a part of the maze with new smells and new colors. was brighter and welcoming. Then Ha rounded the corner and was absolutely amazed by what he saw. Can you guess what it was? Right in front of Ha was Cheese Station N. "Wow, look at all this new magical cheese," Ha exclaimed. He dove right into it, just like he had imagined. Then he shouted, "This is better than the old cheese." Ha's dream had come true. He was so happy. Then he heard a sound of laughter. Ha looked over and saw Sniff and Scurry, who were so glad that Ha had arrived. Ha realized, "I should have moved the new cheese sooner, the way Sniff and Scurry did." Ha helped Scurry measure the cheese to see how much was really there. "From now on, I'm going to pay attention to what is happening with the cheese." Then he wrote on the wall, "Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old." Later, Ha thought about his journey through the maze. He had learned a lot. It seemed like only yesterday he believed change happened to him, like when someone moved his cheese from Cheese Station C. Now he realized that the best change happens inside of you, like when you believe a change can lead to something better. After thinking about his time in the maze, he wrote on the wall what he had learned. The handwriting on the wall. Having cheese makes you happy. What would you do if you weren't afraid? When you stop being afraid, you feel good. The sooner you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. Imagining your new cheese helps you find it. Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old. Move to the new cheese and enjoy it. All of a sudden, Ha thought he heard a sound somewhere in the maze. Was someone coming? Had Hem read the handwriting on the wall and found his way? Ha turned his head and crossed his fingers for good luck. He hoped with all of his might that maybe his friend was finally able to move to the new cheese and enjoy it. The end. So obviously cheese here is a metaphor, but we can try to learn from this book. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Happy Thursday. Take care of yourself and one another. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask. From my household to yours, we love you.